Before we dive into this episode, I just want to let you know, if you want to get access to episodes before anybody else, head on over to patreon.com/concerts that made us. And as a bonus, you'll get access to videos of some of the episodes and a host of other benefits. We've also teamed up with Band Builder Academy to offer you 10% off their membership. Details of both can be found in the show notes below.
Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The show is about to begin.
Welcome to the podcast, Concerts That Made Us. Interviews and stories, tales from the bus. We love taking you back to when it all went down. The greatest live shows and that cheering crowd sound. It's concerts, concerts that made us, concertsthatmadeus.com.
Hi, this is Vaughn Prangley, and you are listening to The Concerts That Made Us. Under the bridge, the water flows, will drain our bones and do it again, 'cause we're all listening, asking why. Don't close your eyes, we'll do it again, 'cause we're all in the thick of it. We're all in the thick of it. Under your skin, we'll do it again. Under the bridge, the creatures crawl, wanting more, till you give in. And no one's listening. We'll lose our pride, wasting time to do it again, 'cause we're all in the thick of it. We're all in the thick of it. Under your skin, we'll do it again, 'cause we're all in the thick of it. We're all in the thick of it. You've dropped the ball. All that we are is hiding away in the dark. We're hiding away from our hearts. Cause we're all in the thick of it. We're all in the thick of it. Under your skin, we'll do it again. The thick of it.
Vaughn Prangley, you're very welcome to Concerts That Made Us.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you now. I'm looking forward to diving into your music a bit now. You're releasing Tick of It on the 25th of August. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so that's Friday now. It feels like time has flown by. Well, Thick of It is a song inspired by, I guess, a time that many people of my age go through. It's you've just finished school and you kind of dropped into the pond of society, and you're like, what now? What's next? And what lands up happening a lot of the time is we give in to what society expects of us, which is go and study accounting or be a lawyer or that type of thing, and you fall into this routine of wake up on a Monday and you're like, it's Monday again. And you long for the weekends, and every week is just kind of the same. And this song talks about experiencing those issues and then breaking free from that and kind of realizing that, you know what, it's okay to really throw yourself out there and do the thing that you feel you were put on this earth to do. For me, that's music. I know for many, many people, I've had quite a, I don't know, I've had a lashback before, but this might not work out. It's a very niche thing. You either make it really big or you don't make it at all. And I just have such a passion for it, and nothing else makes me feel the way music does, that I can't stop. And I would love it for everyone in the world to feel that way about something in their life. So that's kind of the meaning of the song and the inspiration behind it.
Right. I have to say, though, it must have been very scary to actually take that leap and follow your dream. Yeah.
Look, I am also studying, which I'm very excited about, because I love learning. So I'm going to be studying computer science, which I'm very excited about. But I just couldn't ever let music fade away and then kind of give in to what's expected.
Right. And the track was entirely produced by yourself in your studio. What led to that decision, and what was the experience like?
Well, I've worked in quite a few studios over my career, and I have such a passion for not just writing and performing music, but the actual creation of a production is one of my favorite things in the world. And experiencing the studio life and the recording environment, I kind of took in what was going on around me. And now I have the skills necessary to produce a single or an EP or an album. It was so liberating. I felt completely creatively free, like I could do whatever I wanted. And just spend as much time on the track as I needed to, sitting up until 4 a.m, recording. So yeah, it was a very liberating experience. I really, really enjoyed it.
And having that freedom now on your own track, how would you feel if the next one was produced by someone else?
Oh, I love collaborating. So it's not like I'll never go to a studio again. I think a mixture of the two is always great, but it also comes down to having the skills to produce a song by yourself, because then when you collaborate with others, you can kind of meet them in the same ballpark, because you both have the same experience. Or when they talking about compressors and limiters or EQing and stuff like that, then you understand what they're talking about and you can resonate with that, and then you get a more professional product because you can relate with your producer. Whereas if you go in with a blind eye and you don't actually know the technical side of production and recording, you can kind of get a bit lost on how to achieve the sound that you want.
True. And at 19 years old, where do you get your inspiration from? It's not like you've had a long life full of life experiences.
A whole 19 years. Yeah. Look, I've always been called an old soul, but I don't know. I guess I'm very observant. So a lot of what I write about is not just my own life experience, but also what I see around me, what happens around me. So I like to take in my environment, and that often leads to the inspiration behind a song. A cool story about how I write music would be a song that I wrote a couple of years ago. Was inspired by a car wash. So in South Africa, there's one of the provinces is known as the Eastern Cape, and it's very remote there. It's kind of like a deserty type of vibe. And we stopped off at a gas station, and the people working at the gas station just started, as we stopped off there, they started washing our car for free. But they did it with such joy in the middle of nowhere on this long stretch of highway. And they started washing our car on the spot as our car was filling up. And then when they finished, we gave them a bit of money, and they were dancing around and laughing. They were so happy. I sat there, I was like, these people have so little, but they found so much joy in this small little moments. And then I wrote a song called The Little Things. That's not released. I would definitely love to release it one day. But it's just small situations like that or moments can inspire a song. I like to find the meaning behind, I don't know, everyday things, everyday situations, conversations, experiences, stuff like that.
Just diving deeper into them, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, where does your musical style come from, do you think?
Well, I've always loved indie my whole life. I also, when I grew up, only really listened to older stuff. Not sure why. I just was never really exposed to like the current music. And so I grew up listening to a lot of Kings of Leon, and then also the old stuff, like, I don't know if you know, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Oh, I do.
By Otis Redding. And, that was the music that I listened to, not pop. And so when I started playing guitar and writing, I think it was kind of ingrained in me that that's the music that I really enjoy. And then also I was heavily inspired by Ben Howard. I think he's from UK.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely loved his first album and his second album. I don't quite know what happened to his recent stuff, but his first two albums are really, really incredible. And yeah, so acoustic guitar and playing around with authentic sounds and stuff that makes you get lost. That's where I thrive.
Sounds like a good mix. And my listeners love hearing this now. What's your favorite and least favorite part of making new music?
My favorite and least favorite part of making new music? Well, you definitely get such like moments where you want to throw the guitar against a wall or something's just not working. You can even be halfway through a song and you wake up the next morning and you listen to it and you're like, you know what? I hate this. So I don't know, there can be moments of pure frustration, and that can be, that's not a lot of fun. But on the flip side, when you break through that frustration, you hit like that sounds great. That's probably my favorite part, where you find a lick that kind of, transforms the song, or a melody, or you get that vocal take. You know, when you have a breakthrough in the song and you sit back and you listen to it and you're like, yeah, now we're going somewhere. That's my favorite part. Just experimenting as well, experimenting with sounds, and when the sound works, that right sound works, it's a very, very great feeling. I love it.
Right. And at this stage, I suppose we'll give the listeners a deeper sense of you as a musician. So it's a bit difficult now, but if you can you remember your earliest musical memory?
My earliest musical memory? There's so many, I guess. Let me just pick one. I remember when I was... Oh, this is like nostalgic now. I haven't spoken about this in like, I don't know, years. I was probably on my way to nursery school, I think. And I think I was with my dad in the car, and the song Violet Heals by Coldplay was playing. And I absolutely loved that song because it starts with this like synth and almost like a thunderstorm type of vibe. I got lost in that song, but I was probably like 5 years old. And for some reason, that's definitely a core memory is that song. So whenever it plays, it gives me that feeling. So yeah, maybe that.
I like it. And did you grow up in a very musical household then? Was there always support for music around?
Yes, definitely. None of my parents followed through with anything, but my dad played guitar, my mom played guitar, and my stepdad was a DJ. He actually owned a few nightclubs and stuff when he was younger, like 17 to like 19, which is very cool. And I'm very fortunate to be someone who is surrounded by people who really do support my career and my passion. Makes it a lot easier because of how niche the market can be. So yeah, I would say my family is quite influenced by music.
And you know, I often say, as you enter your teen years is when you really find your groove when it comes to music and the genres you like. So what sort of music were you exposed to, and how do you think it molded you into the musician you are today?
Well, as I mentioned, it was first like older stuff, and I've always just continued to listen to a lot of indie. So I guess Ben Howard, the Lumineers, the National, Kings of Leon, that music I really enjoyed. But I mean, my music taste is vast. I also love Eminem and Dr. Dre. They're great. I love a bit of dance music as well. So it's all over the place. But where my soul is, when you get that nostalgic feeling, that's when it comes to like indie or folk music. Even, I don't know if you know an artist, Gregory Alan Isakov.
The name sounds very familiar.
Absolutely love his music, and his music's very mellow. You know, sometimes I'm playing his songs, and someone's like, "Can you please put something happier on?" And I'm like, "How are you not enjoying this right now? It's lovely." But yeah, just any music that you can really get lost in. That's kind of my taste. I absolutely love that.
I like it. And you know, as someone closer to the start of their career than the end, someone that's entering the music industry, what are your thoughts on the current state of it?
I think after COVID, it's become a bit confused in a way, but also I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I think there's so many new paths now for musicians to follow to make a success of their career. Where in the past you used to rely solely on record labels or, you getting that big deal or being played on the biggest radio stations. That was kind of your only path to take as a musician. But today you can hit the big charts being completely independent. And I think social media is also a wonderful thing in many aspects where you can promote your music by yourself without it really costing anything. And if you have a great product and you're consistent with your content, you can really get out there. And that was never possible in the past. So that's definitely something that I am a fan of.
Right. And you know, you've had some great success with your career already. What do you credit your success to?
I think breaking the rules a little bit in terms of how music should sound, because I just find experimenting my favorite thing in the world. So I never really think too much about how it should sound, if that makes sense. You kind of go with the flow and what feels like. So what feels right, rather. And I think that has really molded my music, and kind of, it's authentic. You know, it is what it is, and the lyrics are real. I think my entire brand is surrounded by authenticity, and that's what I really, really want. And I hope the people that listen to my music feel that way, that when you listen to my words or the song as a whole, that you feel like I am talking to you, or there's a message hidden within the lyrics somewhere that resonates with you, resonates with your soul, makes you feel a type of way. I love deep, soulful, authentic music, and that's what I strive to create.
Yeah, you seem like the type of artist now that's very kind of, this is me, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I do what I enjoy, and if you don't like it, then it's not your thing. And if you do, then great, stick around. I'll keep pumping out a bunch of music. So yeah.
And you know, I have to ask now, since it's called Concerts That Made Us, as a concert goer, what concerts have made you?
Well, in South Africa, there's a band known as Prime Circle. I don't know if you've heard of them. Their music is incredible, and I got to know the drummer Dale Schnettler really well. Such a cool guy, and watching them perform live was really incredible. And yeah, I would say that band, seeing a South African band do so well, was really amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, what makes a good night for you when it comes to concerts? What needs to happen for you to walk away thinking, I'm going to remember that for a very long time?
I think, you know, when a band or an artist connects with the audience really well, and doesn't just play the songs and makes the song sound the exact same way it was on the record, when there's a bit of, you know, go along with the flow type of thing, and they talk to the audience, and really connect with them, that's when you can walk away and feel like, wow, that's something I will never forget. And I was at a concert, but what the artist's name is, Rowan Ash. He's an incredible guitarist, and he didn't just perform his songs, but he really, like, he connected with the audience, and the way he spoke to the audience before he played a song was really amazing. So yeah, I think connecting with your audience is probably something that's very important.
Definitely. And, you know, for any listeners that haven't caught one of your shows, what can they expect? Give them the full experience if you can.
Lots of connecting. I would hope an intimate show where it's not just me on stage and I'm performing to you, but we're all in this together. It's an experience that we can enjoy together. I might invite someone onto the stage to sing with me, like my song Green Eyes. At the beginning, there's like a kind of a group chant. So I love getting involved with the audience. So I will invite you on stage and say, come scream with me. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully you dance as well. That's always great. And I promise I won't crowd surf or jump on top of you. That I won't be doing any of that.
Right. And you know, how do you work on your performance and your stage show to keep it fresh and exciting for the next time?
I just play all the time. You know, every single day. Just I will play for hours and hours and hours and hours. And so when you get onto that stage, it's as easy as breathing, because when I am performing, I don't want to be thinking about performing. I want to be thinking about how do I give the people in front of me a memorable experience. So yeah, I like to play until it feels like I'm breathing the song, if that makes any sense.
Right. I like it. I like it. And you've spent several months performing in the Maldives and you're now based in Dubai. From a performance point of view, what was the experience like?
The Maldives was absolutely incredible. Um, Performing was lots of fun, but the scenery was just breathtaking. To stay out there for 4 months and create music and perform in a place that looks like that, being surrounded by coral reefs and whale sharks and manta rays, and it's really a once in a lifetime experience. So, it was beautiful. It's such a beautiful country, and I would love to go back there. It's amazing.
It's definitely on my bucket list. It sounds like absolute heaven. And what has been your favorite or most memorable live performance so far? Is there one that you revisit in your mind over and over again?
It would have to be 2020. So in 2020, I started doing, which is kind of funny because 2020 was when everything kind of fell apart. But I started my music career back then. And the area that I lived in South Africa was called Midstream, and it's kind of a large, very large neighborhood. And I started doing rooftop concerts. So I got on my roof the one day and set up a microphone and my guitar and just started playing. And it grew into such a massive thing in my community that every 2 weeks, I would do a rooftop performance, and every 2 weeks it got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where people had their cars parked up my entire street, and they were having barbecues on their driveway or at the back of their trucks. And that was really, really incredible. I remember when the sun went down, there was phone torches for kilometers in every window that I could see, just waving along with the song that I was playing. So that is definitely something I will never forget. And it's also kind of resembles the beginning of my career. That was really, really amazing.
Holy crap. I have to say now, that sounds like one of the best ones I've ever heard. It's, jeez. I'd say you're dying to be able to do that again, are you?
Yes. Actually, I did do it again in, what was it, 2022 April? Yes. When I launched my EP, I did another rooftop concert off the same roof, and just wanted to give my community a thank you. Like, you guys made this possible because, he has an EP that I produced during the time that I was playing on my roof for you guys. So that was very cool. We put camping chairs out across my whole street, and they were full of people when it came to the event. So that was cool. And I'd love to do it in Dubai too. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Although I'd imagine the buildings are a bit taller.
Well, do you think I could do a rooftop concert off the Burj Khalifa? You think
it'll be pretty epic, all right. It'll be definitely a first, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I also have to say, I love how you started your career with a rooftop gig and the Beatles ended their career with a rooftop gig.
Yeah, that's quite symbolic, yeah.
Yeah. And I always ask then, we've heard the best gig. Is there a gig experience you would say is the worst, and how did you deal with it?
Worst gig experience? Yeah. There was a gig that I went to. Oh, there's probably be more than one, where you get there and no one comes, and you got to do with that with what you have. You either gonna dig yourself into a hole and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is meant for me, or you just keep going. So I think one that stands out was we did a concert at what was the place's name? I can't remember now. But when I did get there, there were very few people there, and it was definitely a bit demotivating. I still played, went home feeling a bit down, but it kind of, after that, kind of motivated me to strive to be better, do bigger things. I wanted to make a success of this whole music thing even more. So I think every setback and failure is just a voice shouting at you saying, just keep going. You can do this. You can do this. So yeah, the bad ones are important ones, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely heard that before. And when it comes to showtime, then what's your pre-show and post-show ritual? How do you psych yourself up, and then afterwards, how do you wind down?
Before a show, don't talk to me, maybe.
Right.
I like to be in my own head for a little bit. I don't want to think about too much. I just want to get on the stage and let things feel natural. And then afterwards, I don't know if I need to wind down. I think like you celebrate and you have fun, and then the next day, sometimes the next day can feel a bit, I don't know, of a letdown because it's not nearly as exciting as the day before. But yeah, I think after a show, you go talk to people and you connect with the people who came to listen to you, and yeah, I really love that. I love chatting to people about, when I get a message or someone tells me how my song made them feel. That is the reason I do music. So after a show, I love to chat. So if you come and watch me live, come have a chat with me afterwards. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Right, right. And that's a very nice segue now. Can you share any funny or interesting stories from your time gigging and touring, from fan interactions or anything like that?
There's a few, yeah. One that comes to mind. This is quite funny, but I did a show for the one or two girls. It was their birthday or something, and then afterwards, I went to go say goodbye to everyone, and people started lining up. The girls lined up for a hug, and the guys lined up for a handshake.
Right.
And I found it incredibly strange. Definitely something I won't forget. I'm not sure why that happened. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And so I stood there giving someone a hug and then giving someone a handshake, and that happened for about 10 minutes. And then I went home feeling a little bit strange, but made for a cool story. So
Definitely. Oh man. And how do you balance your personal life then with the demands of being a musician?
I think when you love something as much as I love music, you don't think about that. You just kind of make it happen. It's never really been a problem for me. I have my personal life and I have my music life, and I love both equally. And so when you do, then you just kind of make it work. You have to, especially when I was still in school, balancing that and music was at times challenging, but you just make it work because you have to.
True, true. And how do you engage with your fans, and what role do they play in your journey?
I think the fans make you who you are at a certain point, and so that, like I've spoken throughout the interview, it's important to connect with them. So if I look back now, there's so many messages that I've gotten that really touched my soul. There was one lady who sent me a message after I had released Call Our Own, and she said to me that she wakes up every morning to the sunrise, drinking her green tea, listening to Call Our Own. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And so to come back to your question, the fans are very important because without them, there would be no one listening to your music but yourself. So I am very grateful for everyone who hops onto my Spotify or iTunes or Deezer and hits the play button and sits back and has a listen. I'm very grateful for that because you make it possible for me to do what I love to do. So very important. So all of you listen, thank you. Love you all.
And how do you maintain a strong connection with your fans then, even in times when you may not have a new song coming out or you may not be gigging?
Look, I think that can be difficult at certain times. You got to try your best. My biggest challenge was during school, probably. Looking back then, that was very difficult. But, I guess a little video of you playing one of your songs or something on social media to say, hey, I'm still alive. I will give you something soon. Yeah, so stuff like that. But it's definitely has been a challenge in the past where, you know, your life is not allowing you to release a song. You kind of just gotta let them know, like, it's coming. I promise. So yeah,
Keep them in the loop, so to speak.
yeah, exactly.
And, you know, going forward then, are there any specific goals or milestones that you hope to achieve within your career?
Oh, I think after every release, I hope that it does better than the one before. I hope that my shows get bigger and I reach the ears of many, many more people. Another dream of mine is to open a recording studio. I absolutely love production. I love recording. That's a huge dream of mine. It would be called Sitara Studios. Sitara means guitar in Latin.
Oh.
So that's a massive dream of mine. So I would love to produce other artists, collaborate with other artists, be a part of other albums and big projects. So yeah, I think when it comes to me and music, it's not just my music or my song that I have written. It's anything that has to do with music I am in love with. So whether it be creating music for other people or recording another artist or writing with someone else, you know, everything that involves music, I love it. So yeah, owning a recording studio is a huge dream.
It's a good one. Now, could you actually see yourself maybe then in the far, far future stepping away from writing and performing yourself and just focusing on producing?
No, I don't think so, because I do love making my own music. And in order to do that, you have to kind of be an artist as well. Because I don't just make music for myself. I also create music to share it with other people, because I know the effect that a good song can have on someone. You know, there's certain moments throughout your life that when a song plays, it reminds you of that moment. And it's such a special thing to be a part of that, you know, give someone a song that reminds them of a good time or makes them feel a type of way. And yeah, I would never, ever want to lose that. So I don't think I'll ever lose the artist thing.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. And, you know, future plans then, before we dive into the last couple of questions, what's locked in stone for, say, the rest of the year? Music, gigs, anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, so with me recently moving to Dubai now, still navigating the industry here, still figuring it out. But while I'm busy doing that, there's a whole lot of recording going on. I'm aiming towards an EP now, and my plan is to release a couple EPs over the next half a year, and when we get to the end of next year, we will have an album that I'll put together with a couple bonus tracks. My plan is to be consistent, to give you, instead of a big album of 10 songs every 2 years, give you an EP of 3 to 5 songs every few months. And then at the end of the year, put it all together and say, here's a big present for you. Thank you for listening. Don't want to make my listeners wait for 2 years for a big album. Just want to, you know, release a lot is kind of my plan. Get a lot of music out there.
I think you kind of have to do that nowadays, though, with people's attention spans being so short, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks, TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll dive into the last couple of questions. So these are some very random, very odd questions, but I'm intrigued to see your answers.
Alrighty, cool.
If you could see any performer from history in concert for one night only, who would it be?
Ooh, Def Leppard is definitely one of them. Yeah, Def Leppard or Elvis Presley.
Right. I like it. I like yourself, I'd love to see Elvis in concert. I feel like if I seen him, I'd just give up going to concerts anymore because it wouldn't top it, you know?
Yeah, he was quite the showman, yeah.
Yeah. And here's where the odd part comes in. So if you had to spend 24 hours locked in a room with any musician from history, who would it be?
Ooh. Well, I've probably talked to someone from a long time ago, like maybe Frank Sinatra, just because the world we live in today and the world that he lived in back then would be so vastly different. So chatting to him about how he sees the world of music and how I see it today would be very interesting. And even talking about like recording, and if I had to tell him that today we can do everything on a laptop, which he wouldn't know what that is. So I would explain that to him first, and then I'd tell him we can make music with this thing, and we don't need physical tape or anything like that. So yeah.
So you're telling me you want to absolutely blow Frank Sinatra's mind, like?
Yeah, I'm a time traveler. I'm from the year 2023.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the final one, so what song would appear on the soundtrack to your life?
Black Flies by Ben Howard. Probably listened to that song 10,000 times. Probably, yeah, that one.
What is it about it that speaks to you?
That song heavily inspired the way that I play guitar. Also made me want to do more than just play guitar. It made it more than just a hobby. It's like, wow, if I could create something that sounded like that, that would be pretty insane. It's just one of those songs that when I press play, it makes me feel so at peace with the world and get lost in the whole production. It's a beautiful song. And there's so many amazing melodies and musical elements, and it's a masterpiece. And it's a long song. I love long songs. If you give me a song that is 6, 7, 8 minutes long and I can listen to the whole thing and enjoy every second of the 8 minutes, then you've done something amazing. Because as you said now, people's attention span is not, it's been better. So yeah, I love it when you can captivate listeners for a whole, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough challenge nowadays. But it sounds like a great song. It has to be that one. So listen, Vaughn, I've really enjoyed getting some insights into your music now. Thanks a million.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Faces we don't know, and you are here with me. Got thousands of miles to go. Come on, baby, come on, we've got to go. Come on, darling, come on, let's hit the road. The days end, and when we wake up, we'll do it all over again. And the night falls, but we're joyful of the journeys that lie ahead. Take my hand, let's not be weary. Explore the world of the unknown. And now you go with me, leaving marks around the globe. Come on, baby, come on, we've got to go. Come on, darling, come on, let's hit the road. The days end, and when we wake up, we'll do it all over again. And the night falls, but we're joyful of the journeys that lie ahead. got to go. Come on, darling, come on, let's hit the road.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. And if you're interested in signing up to Band Builder Academy, use the link in the show notes below and enter the code CONCERTS and you'll receive 10% off. So, until next time, keep rocking. Hey, what are you guys still doing here? The show's over. It's over. You can go home. Go on. We'll see you next time. We'll be here. Bye.